Hi, today we're going to talk about stem changing verbs. Stem changing verbs are a type of regular present tense verbs that have an additional step in conjugating them. So they get a little tricky because you have to pay extra attention. Once you figure out the pattern, it's just one extra step to do, but they can get a little confusing because we don't really do anything like this in English. So a stem changing verb is a verb that changes its root or its stem as well as its ending. So to conjugate that, the first thing you want to do is identify the ending and remove it. Then you're going to find the last vowel. You have to do this second. Typically, it will be an O or an E. Like 99% of the time, it will be an O or an E. Once you find that last vowel, again, after removing the ending, you're going to change the vowel in the boot. So this change only happens in 4 of the 6 conjugations. And it kind of, when you draw a line around it, looks like a boot. And so when you change the vowel in the boot, the O will go to a UE and the E will go to an IE or an I. And that will usually be found next to the verb or you have to memorize it. And then once you do that, you're going to add those same endings that we've been using. Rare stem changes are sometimes U to UE as seen in jugar. This is the only one that works like this that we're going to ever see in Spanish class in 8th grade. So you don't need to worry about any others beside those. So just worry about this O to UE and the E to IE or the E to I. So for example, jugar. So what we want to do is define it. And now first we're going to identify and remove the ending. So now we have that. And now we're going to locate the last vowel, which is a U. And now we're going to change that U to UE because that's what's in parentheses. And we're going to change that in the boot. So the U becomes UE in jueg in these 3 forms and the bottom one. The other 2 do not change. So you're still going to be using this jug sound. Now that we have our roots done correctly, we're going to simply add our AR endings. O, as, a, amos, ice, on. So how do you know if it is a stem changing verb? Stem changing verbs have to be memorized because we do not see each other every day. Senora will tell you if it's stem changing by putting how it stem changes right after it. So if you've noticed on some of our vocabulary words that it has the word and then it has parentheses and a couple letters, this is why, because those are stem changing verbs. But really memorize which ones are stem changing. You can always look it up. And you can also look for how it stem changes, which is what I do. Some other common stem changing verbs: empezar, sentir, querer, pensar, perder, preferir, tener, poder, volver, mover, dormir, costar, pedir, and repetir. About half of these we've already seen on a regular basis. Some of them we have not. Tener is stem changing and it's irregular. So that one you have to be careful with. But we just spent a long time working with that. So hopefully we're familiar with that. And again, you won't be tested on these, but I just wanted you to see that here are some common ones. And there are a lot of stem changing verbs. And if you do study Spanish long enough, you'll kind of get a feel for which ones are stem changing because it's really a pronunciation thing. So let's practice with poder. So the first thing that we want to do is define it, to be able to, and then we're going to remove the ER. We're going to identify the ending and remove it. We're going to find that last vowel, which is the O, and now we're going to change that O to UE in the boot. So we have pued. Now we're going to put the other 2 that do not change, so that's going to be pod. And now we're going to add our ER endings. So we have puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, podéis, pueden. I am able to, you are able to, he, she, or you formal are able to, we are able to, you all are able to, or they are able to, or you all are able to. I would like you to try the next 3 on your own and then come show me before moving on. And please, please, please come to me with questions.